Do the Seattle Seahawks need to sign a veteran free agent cornerback for the 2025 season? What's going on, people? Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Hope you guys are doing well. And we're moving on to another position now, and it's not necessarily one that some Seahawks fans would consider to be a significant need, but I think it's an underrated need. I think these Seahawks need to think very heavily about the cornerback position going into 2025. What we know about the cornerback position is that Devin Witherspoon is great. Devin Witherspoon is going to be here for a while, and Devin Witherspoon is the man. That's about it. Everything we know about the cornerback position in Seattle revolves around Devin Witherspoon. Woolen is under contract for one more year, but his play is very up and down. So much so, I'm not convinced he's going to be here in 2025. But for the moment, he is. But even if you assume that he is, no one else is guaranteed to be here at the cornerback spot, with the possible exception of Nehemiah Pritchett. And who knows if there's anything there to get in 2025. Trey Brown is a free agent. Artie Burns is a free agent. And DJ James was let go of last offseason. You'd have to go get him again if you want him. And what else? What else, right? That's pretty much it. There might be a guy on the practice squad, but he's technically free too. So you don't have any depth right now. So even if you keep Witherspoon and Woolen, even if you keep your two starters, you've got a problem here. You need one more starting caliber player, and you need depth. So much depth that I would qualify this as a medium need. Like, we're not DEFCON 1 here, but I think we're DEFCON 3. I think we're DEFCON 3 at cornerback. Now, if we do bring back Artie Burns, and we do bring back Josh Joby, who is also a free agent, by the way, but he's restricted, probably be able to keep him, but for the moment, he's not going to be here. So until something happens, then nothing happens. So assuming that those things happen, things will look a little bit better. But even if we don't trade Woolen and we do keep Joby, you still need depth that right now we really, really do not have. So let's talk about cornerbacks. We're going to start with the stars. We're going to start with the top level guys. We're going to start with the guys that are going to get paid somewhere around $15 million a year to $25 million a year. These are the guys who are going to be near the top of the cornerback market. These are the guys who are going to make the big bucks, and big expectations are going to be levied with them. So this is only a consideration for the Seahawks if they trade Woolen and feel like they want a surefire stud at the other corner spot. So very unlikely. We don't have the money to spend on an expensive cornerback in all likelihood because of the other things we have to do, and because we're about to have to pay Witherspoon. Witherspoon is going to make, in all likelihood, top of the market money in 2026 and beyond. So you're going to have to save money for that. But let's talk through the options anyway, because you never know how McDonald might be thinking about things. He might feel like another stud cornerback is really, really valuable in his defense. So the top of the market guys, I would say 3 guys. And there's one guy in this group that really, really stands out. This first guy, Byron Murphy. Byron Murphy, former Washington Husky, so there might be some sentimentality here trying to bring this guy back. Second round pick of the Cardinals some years ago. Had a decent career in Arizona. Went to Minnesota on a 2-year deal and has been great. Byron Murphy has been great for the Minnesota Vikings. He made the Pro Bowl last year, was part of an elite defense under Brian Flores. He had 9 interceptions over these last 2 seasons, 27 pass breakups. He's been awesome. So he had his contract year at the right time. He had a contract year to remember. So Byron Murphy, he's going to get paid some money. Pro Football Focus, by the way, they thought he played really well in 2024 as well. 72.8, 33rd ranked cornerback out of over 200 who qualify on over 1,000 snaps. So they like it. I will say, though, a little bit of a cautionary tale. Previous years, not so much. The previous year in 2023, they didn't even think Murphy was average, 58. And it's a big sample size. Again, it's over 900 snaps. Now, again, Pro Football Focus is not the end-all, be-all. But I do think there's a little bit of an argument to be made here that Murphy benefited tremendously from getting to link up with Brian Flores and the stuff that he cooked up all season. And you take him away from that Flores defense, you might not see the results. So I would caution against going too far with this guy's extension, but you may not have a choice. According to Spotrac, Byron Murphy is going to get 4 years, $88.4 million. That is $22.1 million per year. That is just like $3 million short of the high water mark. Jalen Ramsey, I think, is making $25 million a year right now. Pat Surtain's making $24. So he's going to fall just shy of the top of the market. And I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it. I'm not saying he's not great. But we're talking about a guy here who has never made an all-pro team, made one Pro Bowl in a year where he hooked up with Brian Flores on a defense that ended up being elite. I don't know. I mean, he had plenty of opportunities to show what he could be in Arizona, and he was good. Not hating. But in 2024, we saw a different Byron Murphy. I don't know if I would bet $88.4 million over 4 years on him being able to replicate that every year going forward in new circumstances. He did just turn 27, so theoretically he should be in his prime. So somebody may very well bet on it, and it's not a terrible idea, but buyer beware. Next guy in the star tier would be I always mispronounce his name. I think it's Charvarius Ward, but maybe it's Charvarius Ward. Either way, Charvarius Ward, I'll just go with that. He's going to get paid this offseason too. Had a real nice career. Started out with the Chiefs, won a Super Bowl in Kansas City, went to San Fran on a new deal, and he's been really good for him. Made the Pro Bowl, made All-Pro second team in 2023, and 2024 kind of went off the rails for him. Hard to really say it's his fault. There was some stuff happening in his personal life that overshadowed football, and he missed a bunch of games, and he didn't play as well when he did play. But I have a feeling people are going to look at Ward and say he's still the player that he was in 2023. He's going to turn 29 in May, so age is not really a concern yet. Pro Football Focus, not a big fan of what he did in 2024. We just talked about how 2024 was a little bit of an off season. 56.2, not super encouraging, 700 snaps. Year before that, though, 82.6, hard to beat, a top 10 corner according to PFF. And that's over 900 snaps. So mind a little more right on a little bit of a better team, a team that played a little bit better as a unit, had a better defensive coordinator, had a competent defensive coordinator. You got great results. So I think he's going to get paid accordingly. Maybe there's a little bit of punishment for not having a great 2024, but not a huge one. Spotrac has 3 years, 45.9. That's $15.3 million per year. That's a lot less than Murphy. And I'm not sure it should be. Again, I think it's because Ward didn't have the big contract year the way Murphy did. Maybe it's because Murphy's also a little bit younger. But I would say that Ward is definitely worth $15.3 million per year for 3 years. I think he's young enough to have 3 more good years in the NFL. Although I am noticing now that Spotrac says he's going to turn 30 in May. And then you had PFR say he's going to turn 29. So somebody's wrong there. Somebody get that checked, fix it, check his birth certificate, I guess. Figure out the truth. But Charvarius Ward, 15 mil a year plus corner. Sounds about right to me. Probably his last monster contract in the league. He's going to go get it. Objectively, I think he's going to be worth this money. Do I want to give him this money? Not really, but he'll make some team happy, I think. And then this last guy we're going to look at in this video, this is another fun one because we have some familiarity, DJ Reed. If you remember DJ Reed, this guy, 5th round pick of the 49ers, kind of just splashed around there for a little bit, didn't really do anything. Showed up to Seattle in 2020. We basically picked him up off the side of the road, and we got some real good play out of him in 2020 and 2021. So good in 2021, he signed a big free agent contract with the Jets in the offseason and still played well. He continued to have good seasons, continued to be tough in coverage, continued to overcome his size deficiency. The smaller guy. It didn't fit Pete Carroll's mold, but Pete Carroll got great things out of him anyway. And then he went to the Jets and proved he didn't need Pete Carroll to be good. So he's just a good player now. And maybe the age is not ideal, but it's still pretty good. You wouldn't think this guy would only be 28 years old, not turning 29 until November, because you remember him from the what feels like the distant past now. But I imagine he's going to get paid, and I think there would be a lot of Seahawks fans out there interested in a reunion. And everything backs up the idea of that being sound, theoretically. PFF liked him quite a bit, 70.7 in 2024 on almost 900 snaps. He had 77.9, 24th in the league, one of the best corners out there, on almost 1,000 snaps. Now, full disclosure, he's playing with Sauce Gardner. But how good is Sauce Gardner anymore? We don't know. Maybe DJ Reed is the engine that makes it go. I mean, I doubt it, but the point I'm making is, before this year, there would have been an assumption that DJ Reed only looks good because Sauce Gardner's locked down on the other side. That's not necessarily how cornerback play in the NFL works. And besides that, Sauce wasn't as good in 2024, and he still was killing it. He still did his job. On a bad team, by the way. The Jets have been a bad team basically his whole time there, and he's still doing his thing. So DJ Reed, I understand that there's going to be some interest here. Some Seahawks fans are really going to want to bring him back. But the thing is, you're going to have to spend a lot. According to Spotrac, they estimate 4 years, $58.6 million. That's $14.7 million a year, just under $15 million per. That is a long-term commitment. That is taking him into his past his prime years. That's getting to 31, 32. So you are playing with fire a little bit. Now, the good news is it's a long-term deal. So you could push the money back into the final years, and then he just never sees that money. That happens all the time in the NFL. Shouldn't be an issue. So you could do that. And again, I think the player is very good. DJ Reed was awesome here, and he's been awesome for New York. What I would say is that I still think that with McDonald in tow, with having a guy like Devin Witherspoon as your number one corner, and presumably getting another cheap year out of Josh Joby, I don't think I need to spend big at the other cornerback spot. Because I like Joby, and of course I love Witherspoon. Those guys are both awesome. So I'm trying to find a different way to get myself another cornerback, whether it's fixing Woolen's problems to where he can be a starter and be somebody you can rely on, or drafting somebody or signing somebody cheaper. I just don't think I'm breaking the bank here. But it's worth talking about. So let's talk about it. Let me know what you think down in the comments. I'll see you guys later. Go Hawks. And those are the top corners. Let me know how you feel about them.